But hey guys, so as you've seen in one of my previous videos, I've rebuilt the front passenger disc brakes. I've also rebuilt the rear passenger drum brake. Now, I've done that first to leave this one so I can show you guys. Now this is loads worse than the other side. It's had a leak in rear wheel cylinder for a long period of time. It's really corroded. So today we're going to be stripping this all down to all its little component parts. We're going to see what the drum's like. Probably going to reuse it if it's not too bad, but replace all the shoes, the wheel cylinders, clean it all up, paint it all up, and do what we do best. So this is going to be awesome. Let's get stuck into it. Right, so we've got all the components out of the vehicle now. I've laid it out nicely on a bench here. Now we're going to strip all the little components down into their small pieces, and then we're going to get them in the parts washers. But before then, we get the half shaft away from the backing plate. Now this happens by removing the snap ring, just adjacent to the bearing here, removing the collar, and then either using a press or bashing the back plate off the half shaft. So we can do away with that. That'll have to be cleaned up and prepped as well. But as you can see, look at it. It's a right old state. Now we're going to be soaking this in a kind of parts washer. Now I know you guys at home haven't got a parts washer probably, so we're going to be using a simple little red tub, and we're going to be filling it up with the degreaser, soaking it all in there for about an hour, getting it all out, clean it up, using a bit of wire wheel and some other little tools here to get the rust off, and then we're going to be using the rust converter, and then on the drum some caliper paint, and it all looks schmick and all go back together lovely. So right, let's get on with these component parts and get them in the wash. Yeah, sweet. Knock these off. We're even going to clean the bolts up, just so everything looks brand new. You won't believe it when this goes back together. It's going to be lovely. Just at any point that you feel like you need to be taking pictures so you know where everything goes back, it doesn't hurt to do it along the way. Oh, spring. All going to go in the wash. Get these little clips out and do these. Now you have to remember they've got little spring washers behind these. They have to go back exactly the same, otherwise you get rattle noise and you hate it. These are like little horseshoe retaining clips. Try not to bend them too much because you're going to have to reuse them. That's the little spring washer you have to remember goes back in there. Right, so that's free, that's ready to go in the parts washer. Now, I've checked the bearings on this, they're all good. So we're going to be reusing them, we're not replacing them. Pop that over there. Right. Things like this little clip here, they'll all have to come off. Again, take pictures. Well, see. None of these will come with the new shoes, so you can throw them in the bin now. Again, another horseshoe retaining clip. Just bend it. Oh dear. Another little spring washer there. Shim. And all this is going to be reused, so all goes in the parts washer. See, it don't need that bit of old thing again. Chuck that away. Right, there's the old wheel cylinder, that can go in the bin. Right, Now ready to go over to the parts washer and make a mix up. Let's go. Right, so I've got some heavy duty commercial grade degreaser here. You can get it from any hardware store. Now I'm not going to be shy with this. This whole thing's going in here, and you can mix it down to sort of 4:1 ratio or so. Get it all in there. The more the merrier. And I'm glad that all the little components are totally submerged so they can be properly degreased. Now what you do, just let it soak every so often, come back and sort of mix it around with a brush, get it over everything, and that will just soak in over a couple of hours. You can even see it start working right now. It's eating away at the grease already. And then we'll come back and clean them up. Should be good. Right, so check this out. A little bit of hard work goes a long way, right? So these have been in soak for about 2 hours. Got them out, washed them down, put them through the wire wheel. Now check them out, man. Compared to what they were, they've come up a treat. Now you don't have to do this, but I like to go the extra mile and get things clean so it looks amazing when they go back together. Now what we're going to do now, we've got the grinder and the wire wheel. We're going to go over to the back plate and the drum. We're going to clean them up, just prep them for painting. So this is how they come out of the degreasing tub. We've given them a wash off, but there's still a lot of surface corrosion. So we're going to attack them with a little wire wheel here on a grinder. Should come up good, ready for painting. Now we're not going to do this surface in here. We're going to give that a sand with some emery paper or something. That'll come up nice, so it'll bed in with the new shoes. But just give this a light going over. Alright, so I finished with the steel wheel, but it can't get into the more secluded places, so got a little brass bit for the drill here. We're just going to go along with that, do the finer bit. So the trusty old rust converter, lash this stuff on, it's really good. You can almost see it reacting with the rust you can't get to. Don't be shy with it. Get it on. This gives a really good base to the top coat we're going to be going on. Plus it treats all the rusty surfaces if there are any left. I swear by this stuff. It's awesome. Right, so we've given the drum a coat of primer, and already it's looking a million times better. We've got all the rust off it, so we're now going to give it a light dusting, and I do mean a light dusting first. We're going to do loads of coats of it, of caliper paint. Now I'm using red just to show it up, and literally don't go mad. We don't want any runs in it. Just want a light dusting. It's all about the layers. It won't be until about the third or fourth coat that it'll really start coming out and looking good. Alright, leave that to go off, give it about half hour, then give it another coat. Right, so we've got the backing plate back on the half shaft, we've got the collar back on there, and the snap ring back there. Right, so we're ready to get this back into the axle. Remember to clean up these surfaces here, because that's where the O-ring goes that seals that. So anyway, let's get it on there. Right, so we've got our new seal in there, and there's the O-ring around there that's going to seal it all up. Slide this back in, be careful with the new seal, do not want to damage that. Just going to get it through, select it on the diff, get the splines lined up, there it goes. That's it, there we go, we are home. So when it comes to bolting it all back up, don't go like a bull in a china shop and bolt it up tight straight away. Just nip them up, and then once all the bolts are in place, go around and tighten them up fully. Now the C-clips, you're going to have to spend a bit of time with those because you've expanded them to remove them. You're going to have to make sure that they go back in the groove and just compress them up again so they're nice and tight and not going to come off. Now it's a good time to refer back to the photos of the disassembly. Just as a point of reference, so you make sure all those little component parts go back in the same place that they came off. Now that's quite important really with these brakes. Now the brake adjusters, make sure, I always harp on about this, but make sure that they're let right off so it makes it easy to get those drums sliding over those shoes, man. It just makes life so much easier. Now it was very much unavoidable that we had to do the brakes on the Hilux, especially on this driver's side rear. They were in a right state. This was due to the fact that the wheel cylinder had been leaking, all the paint was stripped off and the water had been able to get in there and corrode up all the metal. But I really enjoy doing this, man, bringing this stuff back to its original sort of stock appearance, man. It just looks so good and I never get enough of it. And it always gives me good peace of mind on or off-road to have brakes in a good working order. Right, so there you have it. You're a one built up rear brake assembly. All we got to do now, go and get the drum, slide her home. Right, so there we have it, nice and red and glossy. About 4 or 5 coats on there. It's awesome. It's come out really good. Last thing to do, boom. There we go. Nice one. All we got to do now is adjust up the handbrake and we'll be done. We'll be ready to move on to the front. I'm really pleased with that. Cool.